grabbed a couple score lead against Pitt, held on for a 38-34 win, and did it on the road with one Tyler Van Dyke, possibly coming of age.
Tyler Van Dyke, man. Yeah. That's shout out to Andrew Forelli. He from All Research was the first one who said that. Did not necessarily catch on until recently because he wasn't playing, but Andrew's great for those kind of tweets and also digging them up to let you know, hey, I said this back in May of 2019. Just throwing it out there, kind of a thing. But no, Van Dyke was balling, man. And even last week, now 2 weeks ago against NC State, 328 and 3 tutties, no interceptions. And last week it was like 340 something. But then he exceeded that last week, 428. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, which is a really, really bad throw. But, I mean, when you have some really, really great throws to bounce that out, still at 75% completions over 2 weeks, you're looking good and chucking it up there, man. He said this before the NC State game. Just, hey, like what we saw on film, I think that we can be able to take advantage of that. People are like, oh, you're talking stuff. Look, if I'm confident in my preparation and abilities, because, again, he can throw the ball down the field. And people are like, oh, my goodness, he has a strong arm. Again, go back and watch his highlights from high school. First throw was, 67 yards pre-flat-footed on a dime? You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy who can throw the ball down the field, and he's really stepping into his own with that, really calling plays that fit for him. I think that usually every game he has that one smash route combo with the high-low read, and invariably the defense is going to jump up to the curl and he throws the flag behind it and it's on a dime and then he keeps moving. And that was really what happened on that first drive. It didn't necessarily look great, but then you had one throw to get him going, and once he's going, man, look, he's been a walking fireball. So really, really a great effort by the team. Got some good defensive stops early on Pittsburgh, which was key, to building that 21-7 lead early on in the game. And just going balls to the wall, man, calling all these trick plays, the double reverse flea flicker to Will Mallory for the 3rd touchdown, these other things like Jalen Knighton. He breaks loose untouched for 40 yards. They're going to that that slow mesh on the inside zone RPO. It gives Tyler more time to look at the play and say, okay, should I pull it and throw it or not? But he gave it to Jalen Knighton, and they're flowing in one direction, and he hit a cutback and was gone up the middle. And you see a lot of things that you like. You see some things that you don't like, giving up a school record 519 or whatever it was passing yards to Kenny Pickett. But I do agree with Manny Diaz in that you made that team one-dimensional, which is kind of ridiculous because, and as I wrote it, and I always keep the stats up for the full week just so that I can do this kind of a thing, but the running backs for Pittsburgh averaged 7.5 and 4.7 yards a carry. Like, that's not bad yardage per carry. But the situation of the game, Miami got out to his lead and was just walking up and down the field where Pittsburgh figured they had to go throw the ball only. But yeah, Tyler stepped up. James Williams was the ACC Defensive Back of the Week, led the team in tackles, had the de facto game-winning interception on Pittsburgh's last drive. Miami did need to get a couple first downs behind that to support him and then win the game on offense. But the last offensive play that Pittsburgh had, it ended with a James Williams interception. So that's a game-winning interception to me. There's a lot of things to like, but there's still room for development. Let them back in the game. Only scored 7 points in the second half. Luckily, that 7 points was enough, but that game got closer than it should have been. You had time going into halftime with 2 timeouts and a quarterback who's on fire and an offensive coordinator who's on fire. You kneel on the ball and go to the half and just keep those timeouts for a rainy day that you're not going to have after halftime. You come out of halftime and go 3 and out. You go 3 and out twice, and then, all of a sudden a 31-17 game is now tied because Pittsburgh walks down the field twice and scores touchdowns. So the end result of the win is positive. There's a lot of interior performances that are also positive. There were still some things that, leave more to be desired, but I like winning, and we did that. So good.